average Nigerian lady is not particularly looking for commitment. They just want somebody who can take care of them. That guy get money, he get potential, saying you ever get money. When a girl of today says that this guy has potential, what is she talking about?
Prenups and issues surrounding it.
The moment you begin to talk about prenups, that is the beginning of the end of the marriage. That conversation will never stop coming up in that marriage.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Black Table on TVC. Hope you're following us on socials. Once again this week you are unfortunate because I am your host. My name is Tieng Gang and we have the usual suspects on the table because I can never do this alone. It's a home for real men and we help men that are not real become real. So women, if you like real men, this is where you get all the details. I'm going to start off with my very good friend by the right. He's a premium individual when it comes to comparing, hosting, and so many other things that he has skills in. Mr. Deck, something you should all have in your life.
What exactly?
Joins us
What
on
are the
show
other
today.
things that are very good?
You will tell them.
All right, thank you so much for having me once again. We're right here again. It's another beautiful Friday.
Yes.
You know, with the handsome men.
Yes.
The men that shake the table.
Sporting the red color.
They shook the table so much it became black. You already know.
Yeah, and awkwardly, last week we had him after a long time.
We didn't have him. He came on the show.
Yeah.
We did not have him. We did not have him.
He came on the show last week.
And you can take that anyhow you want.
The impact was so great that we had to bring him on the show yet again. Mr. Akin joins us. Welcome to the show.
Oh, it's a pleasure, Baba.
Always.
Nice to be here again.
My
Yes.
boss.
Let's go.
It
You
was
started
so
the
good.
guy, off your bike.
My boss.
And of course, the bar brings out something in every man that sits at the bar. And we know that the rich uncle can always go an extra mile, but the bar takes him further. Rich uncle, welcome to the show once again. Good to have you.
Yeah,
Good to have you.
Good to have you on the show.
Better.
You know, I now call him Dragon with the way he's being dragged on social media.
The owner of the camera. The owner of the camera.
No, you guys, let's be honest though. Let's be honest. A lot of people don't watch the show. All they just watch is that clip.
They watch a couple of clips.
Yeah, and-
All right. Anyway, today on the show, we're going to be talking about prenups. For those of you who want to get married, it might be something you want to consider. For those of us who are already married, we'll find out what that means to us as well. So fill up your glasses and get ready for the next 1 hour of exclusive, premium, grown man talk. Don't touch it. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us on the show this week. Last week's edition got so much buzz, and we're glad that you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed presenting it to you. So what we're going to do right now is pick a couple of comments that came on socials from last week's show. We need you to know that we entertain your questions at the end of every episode of The Black Table, and we get so many messages from social media that we don't really have enough time to go through all the messages. So for today, we're going to go through some of the messages that came in last week and during the week and see how we can deliberate on some of those comments. And of course, a lot of them will involve Mr. Dragon at the bar, my man, Okwe Oluwafemi. All right, one of the comments that came in on socials from goodness_8021 said, I disagreed with the dialogue. I'm sure you all remember what we talked about last week.
That's right.
I disagreed with the dialogue. I have always admired the idea of being with a woman who possesses both beauty and intellect. For me, seeking a highly educated partner isn't about myself, isn't about myself, but about the future of my children and the kind of influence I want them to have. However, I could never consider ending my marriage, especially as my wife is growing and moving forward in life. I remain committed to supporting her dreams, even though her success may sometimes surpass my own. I will continue to fulfill my responsibilities as a husband and stand by her side as I believe in her and in our journey together. All right? And this is from a male. All right? Femi, I'm going to get some comments from you real quick. Another one came in here from Darling to Nikich. Says, I don't believe in all these crap. I can say this because of the time of the day. He said, this is very misinforming. There's no way a woman's growth can affect the relationship between her and her man. In most cases, there's a character error before her acquisition of an MSc, PhD, etc. Thank you for that comment. I have another one here from Half Bam. Says, rich uncle was making sense to me with the fact that a man should constantly improve himself. Till he said that the day she submits MSc form, submit yours. Such competition in marriage is unhealthy. Marriage is an institution where the two people involved must not necessarily have the same aspirations. That file for a divorce because the wife gets a PhD scholarship better be sarcasm. Okay, so let me stop right there. When you're watching this show, we'll take more comments for today's episode. But real quick, with some of the things that I'm sure, Rich Uncle, you also read on social media, what are your thoughts so far on these things?
First of all, I think that everybody, just before you type a comment, watch the show. You realize that they were actually attacking you, Dick. So you know the part where you said file for divorce? You were being sarcastic.
Oh yes.
They actually
I was going to say that.
No, they actually believe that you were on. Because someone came into my DM and the lady was like, "Why would you say file for divorce?" I was like, "Hello, that's not what he meant." What the show?
So they don't watch the show.
They don't watch the show.
It's interesting that you said that because I think it was Okwe, one of the producers of the show, tagged me and was trying to talk to somebody over some comments and stuff like that. I personally, I've done this whole celebrity or no celebrity matter. I don't have the time to be responding to anybody. I don't care. I don't care what you say. Do you understand? Once I say my thing, I've said it. I'm not going to argue with somebody who is probably using 50 MB. Do you understand? I don't have the time. I don't have the time for that. You know what I mean? So for me personally, I know what exactly it is that I said. It is your responsibility to go on the show, watch the show in its entirety. It's right there on YouTube. When you watch the show and you hear the things that I've said, you'll be able to, type an informed, message.
Yeah.
You can't just be typing, based on what you have seen. That seems like somebody is listening to respond.
Yeah.
You need to listen to understand and then respond afterwards. When I said you file for a divorce at the end of it, I obviously didn't mean for the person to file for divorce. It was obviously sarcasm, and I just wanted him, because obviously there was a banter between myself and Rich Uncle that didn't play out in the little clip.
And no blood was shed.
No blood was shed.
Show.
No busting of bottle.
Yeah.
So for me personally, if we're going to talk about this, the gentleman rightly said, yes, I don't totally disagree with everything that Rich Uncle said. I just disagree with a couple. Now, calm down. I just disagree with a couple of things that he said. All right. Now he says that yes, you should, as a man, you should consider. It's not just as a man, as an individual.
Pause.
Yeah.
The show is still online. Go watch it.
Watch it.
We're going to start today's show pretty soon. But before we do, let me get some comments from.
Okay,
I was just going to finish my comment.
Thank you so much. I'll finish it for you.
Okay. So last week my dad was around, so he watched it, and of course he disagreed with some of the things that we said here. That's his opinion. He also supported some of the things that we said, but he's a great supporter of supporting your spouse and supporting your house. So that's from his own opinion. Also, I got some not bad news, because based on what was caught on Instagram, based on that, so some women, they like hearing good things about themselves.
It was triggering. I won't lie to you. A lot of women were triggered when they heard it.
They thought, of course, they were like bad news on Rich Uncle, but again, they need to watch the whole context. You can't pick it up, because of course it's not everybody. The show is your opinion, is opinion based. Not that you done it because you say you're a killer, that means you're a killer, right? So you're not what you say, but again, your opinion, you have a right to say what you want to say based on what you're thinking. But that doesn't mean that at least I'm sure Being Uncle is not divorcing his wife because he said so. Whatever. And I know if Being Uncle, just like someone said,
all right.
Being Uncle, yeah, continue off like it.
No. I don't want to cut you guys, but it almost seems like we're going back to last week's show.
Conversation.
We want to move forward.
That's good.
But that was a very interesting show, though.
Yeah,
it was.
I believe, regardless of the comments on social media, everybody still stands on what they said here last night.
Absolutely.
110%.
You know the funny thing, I was just going to say something about what you said. You talked about the fact that, you can actually say anything. Everybody can say, yes, in Nigeria, there's freedom of speech. But we can't guarantee what happens
after speech. Freedom. All right, so let's move ahead. Remember, you can still keep your comments coming for today's episode at the end of the show. And always, I advise, watch the entire show. Past episodes are available online. Now, before we get to our major point of discussion tonight, which is about prenups in marriage, we want to take a look at a quick scenario that played out in a video in America where a Nigerian kid fought and knocked out his father and his father's friend. I know Rich Uncle saw the video earlier on. I saw it. Have you guys seen the footage?
Yeah, I saw the video earlier on today.
I want to start with Rich Uncle at the bar because he shared similar views to what I felt when he watched the video of this young man. Rich Uncle, what are your thoughts on that video?
Young boy beating up his dad, not just his dad and his dad's friend.
Mm.
And the other lady in the video. Send him to jail. And don't put him in Ikoyi prison where he can pay 15 million for apartment. Send him to jail. Far, Kuje prison.
But you know, also that shows a lot of how the boy was
Bro,
raised.
there's no excuse for raising your hand against your father. Like, what's going on? He gave you life. Like, let's start from there. He gave you life. How lost can you be? You slammed your dad, you slammed his friend, then the lady in the picture, you slam. Come on, bro.
Well, personally, I've not been to the US before, right? But he has been to the US. What exactly?
Yeah, let me hear you.
I've been to the US since we're counting.
Hold on, Rich Uncle. The culture there, because I watched the video. So, first of all, I can't imagine I would like go crazy, practically die.
You can't process it.
Yeah, I can't process it. But
exactly.
Again, let's look at the culture over there. It's different. It's the culture that you call your dad, just like a song, mommy hi, daddy hi, daddy gay. Call your father.
It's almost
name.
like there is no culture.
No culture there. That's how that it is for over there. And I'm very sure go to the court. He's going to win the case.
Who, the boy?
He practically will win the case.
But that's assault. He can't win that case though.
Yeah, but that's assault from the other one side. But again, you can say emotional instability or psychiatric, whatever.
Which was exactly what he was claiming.
Yeah, that
in that video.
Stress.
In that video,
you're stressing me.
That was exactly what he was saying. That he was. You're stressing me. So you see, the thing is this. Let me just break this down quickly. Now, we must understand the society in which this happened first. We cannot overemphasize the fact that the culture and the beliefs in the United States is totally different from the African culture, not even just Nigeria. However, we do have a number of places in the US that are very big on morals. I know that there are Black American parents who are literally disciplinarians. One of which is the character of the popular Tyler Perry's Medea. Medea is she's obviously, the character is basically a no-nonsense woman. If you disrespect somebody, she will treat you. If you disrespect your parents, she'll put you in your place, all right? So I can't entirely write off morals from the United States. There are certain places that people understand that it is important that you greet your elders. It is important that you respect your elders. It is important that you call them ma'am. That's the reason why there's something called ma'am. Ma'am is, of course, you are we know what calling out. You are calling out to an older lady or or sir. It's a sign of respect. You understand what I'm saying? For me personally, I feel that there is more to what happened to that Nigerian guy.
Yeah, but irrespective of what's happening,
what you must also understand is that we can't rule out the fact that there was an action that prompted a reaction.
Yeah, true.
Now, in Nigeria, we will not be talking about reactions here. What we'll be talking about is that a child, one boy like that, in Papa beats and die. Or the funny thing is that in Nigeria, the parents won't even have to fight the boy. It's people around that somebody would have planked him too by.
But let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Dek. Is there anything that can happen to you that will make you act that way to your parents?
My parents?
Yes.
My parents?
Yes.
Guy, what's wrong with you now? What kind of talk is that?
I know the answer. I know there's nothing.
I can't think about it. As in, the
thought can't even cross your head.
Guy, come on now.
So then the next question. And
my mom will give me a bow.
Now, the next question. Now, let me toss this to Rich Uncle.
You're right.
I know his kids are a little bit older than yours.
Okay.
And he has a son as well and a daughter. Rich Uncle.
I actually have an 11-year-old child.
Biologically?
Yes.
I don't. What's the meaning?
That's another show.
No. Hold on.
So when you said that his children are older than mine, I was just looking at you.
Hold on.
I never knew you.
Bro, why do you say biologically?
Because I know the kid I know him with now is a lot younger.
Okay, so biologically means...
So I felt maybe he adopted the child or something that he didn't father the, But let me get to that.
That's
Rich
the
Uncle,
kids anyway.
if your kid at some stage in his life or her life attacked you physically, what would your response be?
You can't.
You
can't.
Why are you looking like that?
No, I like that answer because with confidence, I know my kids can never do
Did you see his face
No,
when
no,
he
so
said he can't?
first off, the reason why my kid will never be able to step up to me is, first off, I think I'm raising him well enough. But let's just assume that wires touch. I will be the living light out of him.
Yeah.
And he will never try it again.
Well, that's at this stage because you're bigger and stronger.
Bro,
but by the time he's a man,
the boy is 7,
something.
I'm 44, right? At no point would that gap ever shrink.
yeah.
When I'm 50 and I see that I can't talk to him anymore, I'll go to the gym. Just in case you want to be not okay, I will reset your brain.
Okay.
I will beat the living light out of it.
Let me say this. My son is 16 years old, right?
Your son is
16.
okay.
So I'm not a coach or whatever.
We knew you were Egbon.
You know,
now.
so let's assume it happens.
Yeah.
I'll just go and sit down. My wife will take over.
Take over what?
Bro,
Ibati.
I don't think you want to say that,
Ibati.
though. No, but that boy...
Sorry, did you see the
Did you watch the
saw
video,
the-
though?
Yes, I saw
Did you watch the video?
I said that we trained the boy very well. But trust me, when it
Want
comes
you to
to...
remove your wife's teeth?
Bro, go to the gym. Just in case.
No, I will just
Just in
I
case
know
the
the
boy
person.
just
Look,
misbehaves.
there's something. Look, there's a different way I'm calm, and there's a different way I'm
You see,
mad.
let's
There's
you
two
see,
that comes. There are two different spirits.
I think
you
we're
think. Hold on, bro. Yes, we saw the video. That was the video.
yes.
But this is me talking reality. Let's say it happens. Let me say it even happens.
If it happens to you,
If it happens to me, I'll
Right.
just sit down. There's this strength that woman has that when that madness enter her, that's what it has. Trust me, that boy is not strong. Continue.
So my take is this, right? I'm thinking about it from the perspective that we're even overthinking the issue.
Yeah.
What I think is, what exactly caused that to happen? Another thing that I've thought about is the fact that I feel like the upbringing might be faulty. Another thing that I also thought
Society
about
also,
is the fact that who says that is that man that actually raised that child?
No, but I think you're missing some of the points, because for me, maybe the way I was raised, even if it wasn't my father, an elderly person as such, I cannot attack them.
That's what I'm saying. The society in which it happened is why I'm saying what I'm saying. It's because it happened in the US. Like I said, if it happened in Nigeria, I will mobilize boys. We will go to the boys' house tomorrow. Not tomorrow, as in this tomorrow,
night.
as in this night.
This night.
Do you understand? Because you know what? In Nigeria, it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So it's not an issue of we're even talking about the fact that somebody. My neighbors heard that you beat your parents. It is finished for you.
Yep. True.
So it's not even just about the parents, so it's because of
it's not just about the parents, it's
location
about society,
that it happened,
it's
that,
about the
that is
family
making us
unit
even
itself.
have. So I'm just talking about it from that perspective of the fact that it happened in this society. Okay, fine. What could have caused this to happen? Number one is the fact that it is possible that man did not raise that child.
No, see,
It's possible.
No, let's look at it like this, so that we wrap up real quick. There is something fundamentally wrong with the child.
Absolutely.
Do you understand?
I'm sure that's not the first time.
Absolutely.
For him to react that way,
Yeah, it's not the
there's
first time.
something fundamentally wrong with him, mentally, the way he was raised, and so many other factors.
Absolutely.
Could have happened. Do you understand? But the end result does not justify whatever might have happened to the kid. So with that, we pray that our kids, and we hope that people will raise their kids better, so that we don't
Absolutely.
hear more of this kind of situation.
And you see, that's another reason, like I keep saying, I'm advocating for the boy child. We keep talking about the girl child. Nobody talks about the boy child. The boy child is as important as the girl child. Why? Because when that girl child grows older, she would interface with a man.
True.
It's a boy that eventually grows into a man. So we also need to, look into raising our boys very well.
True.
So that's just
And,
what I feel.
it's a good thing. You seem to have been raised well, also with my gentleman. So let's move on to our next story. Remember, you can always comment on all of our discussions. We'll read out some of your posts at the end of the show. Now, this post was on social media. Patrick Doyle said, "Nothing tests a man's essence as when his ego and dignity are rubbished by a humiliating snub or gesture from a person with whom he once shared intimacy with."
Absolutely.
At such times, it's best not to react in the moment, but rather pause and consult your maker. Most importantly, never address a humiliation from such a person in the public space. We've spoken about this on the Black Table frequent times when we see how couples come and cast themselves online, which is very sad. And since we're talking about egos, I think the man that has the biggest one of them all is at the bar.
Sitting at the bar.
Why?
Yeah?
Why?
I'm just poking the bear.
Why?
I know your ego is.
First
I know
of
your ego is not that big, but I'm just poking the bear.
No, but first of all.
But what are your thoughts on partners, ex-lovers, relationship people, coming and attacking each other online and exposing themselves in general?
It's a certain level of insecurity and always wanting to be right. That's just what it is. Like you want not only. So I feel like basically relationships are supposed to be with two people, like me and you. Every other person is noise. Anything external is noise. Now, if you now have to prove to noise that I was not the one that messed up this relationship, it's a certain level of insecurity, right? And I always say, one of the reasons why when we have issues at home, my wife is like, you don't talk. It's because I know that as a man, you shouldn't speak from a point of anger. Because you're going to say things you regret. You're going to say things you'd have to apologize for. And when you think about it, there is almost nothing that doesn't get better with time. No matter how angry you are right now, give you 1 week, give you 2 weeks. It doesn't hurt as much.
Have any of you ever been dragged online, apart from Black Table, outside the Black Table?
Yes.
Dragged
Any
online.
of you?
Like when you say dragged online, because I mean, sometimes I can be like a social commentator and everything, right? So, but people go under my post and just say rubbish, and I unleash the dragon on them.
You wait. You unleash rubbish?
I will unleash the dragon on you. Me, I don't send.
All my life,
Yeah.
Everybody used to love me until Black Table. I sweat down.
And you became a villain straight.
Last week, I had like 16 DMs from people that I don't know. You are that. I'm like, calm down, go and watch the show. But what this thing has taught me is that sometimes people speak from past experiences
Absolutely.
that you have nothing to do with.
Absolutely.
And you need to understand where they're coming from. You can't attack every dog that bites.
True. But at the same time, social media has become a tool. Some people cannot speak to you or they cannot say their minds and they decide to go on that platform and receive some form of solace from the social media community
Yes,
that might
case
support
in
them.
point. Case in point. On Wednesday, I was in the supermarket and a lady walked up to me and said, "Yeah, the guy from Black Table." I was like, yeah. And I used to think you were nasty. Oh, see how nice you are. I'm like, because you don't watch the show. It's all those 5 seconds, 10 seconds that them Zainab cuts that you watch. I'm not a bad person. I just say the things that people don't like to say. That's just it. And it's not like they're not thinking about it though. They just don't want to say it. But because I'm the one that says, they're like, this guy and a devil, let's crucify him. It's not that serious.
But it's funny because a lot of people actually agree with some of the things that
They
Femi
do,
says on
bro.
the show.
They're in my DMs.
A lot of people agree with some
They're
of the
in
things
my
Femi
DMs.
says.
Let me be honest with you. You see, everybody is right, right? Which essentially means that everybody has an opinion. What you think is right might be wrong to the next person. It might also be right to some other people as well. You see, words carefully articulated and spoken like it's proper English.
Are you saying that I don't articulate my words properly?
No. Hold on.
Let's be clear.
Calm down now.
Let's be clear.
So it can sound. You can convince anybody with carefully articulated words. You can literally say that if I drink this wine, it would.
It's whiskey.
It would
It's
give
not
me-
wine. It's whiskey.
I mean, whiskey or whatever it is.
And I'm tired of pouring the
All
whiskey
right.
under the table. The people
Now
should come and sponsor.
listen, Femi.
It's true now.
If for instance I tell you that if I drink this, it will give me eternal life, some people will believe, which is essentially why people are, selling water to people and telling them that it will heal them, and they buy.
Yeah, shooting shots.
All right. So
Deck.
for me, I'm
down,
saying to you,
slow down.
For me, I'm saying to you that anything you say would have two sides to it.
True.
Some people will like it, some people won't like it. That's things that I would say, because I'm the good guy on the black table, that I would say that people will like and some people will also not like. You understand what I'm saying? So for me, I feel like everybody has has a right to their opinion.
Okay, let me cut back to the issue of the ego, and also the dragging online. So anybody dragging himself online to any relationship, I just feel that number one is looking for attention.
Yep.
Yeah, you want like he said, noise. So why are you looking for attention?
The question is, if your partner
drags me online,
decides to go online because you're not listening to her, if your partner does that, what is your comeback?
Okay, first of all, I'm not going to respond to anything she says online.
I'll go whiskey on her now. What are you saying?
I'm not going to respond because that's the one I'm giving her attention.
Go machala on her.
Right. There's a way of calling, and if she still not picks up my call, like, yes, we have ego, we have everybody's, even a 1 year old, a 1 day old boy has ego. A 1 day old boy. So everybody, we are born with ego.
I'm telling you, take away that breast from him and he will show you.
Yeah, I show him. So hold on, I'm
Did you just say breast?
So, yeah, this is a nice show. So yeah, he has to say breast.
I just wanted to
you hear you say breast, and I'm also saying breast also by the way. So just
and I'm the evil one.
Just to be
Can
clear,
we stop saying breast? Oh my God!
And I'm the evil one. So every single person on this table has said it.
Yeah,
I just said
so
it.
everybody here has
Let's
said it.
behave.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I won't
But I mean that they
respond.
crucify.
Painfully, I won't respond. Right? There's a process of dialogue. And like, again, he said, no matter how mad you are, crazy you are, you will calm down one day now.
Yeah.
Okay, but I think there are two sides to this, and I want you guys to relate with this. If your partner posts things on social media and everything she's saying is the truth, there's a response to that. What if she starts lying and saying things that you know are not true?
Wait, let me ask you a
Do
question.
you still stay silent?
At what point do you know that it's the truth or not
No,
the truth?
even-
You know the truth now.
And so if it's the truth, what
every
difference does it make if whether or not you
In every
respond?
conversation,
Because
there's
it will
a
always
truth, there's a lie.
that's the thing. It will give
So
you the same
depending on what is your own
results.
truth? What is your own lie? So
Exactly.
I'll just take everything as okay.
Whether it's true,
continue.
great. The point is, why are you going online to talk about what is happening between us?
Yes, which she shouldn't. But if she does that as a man,
I will
As a social media
I will go
person.
machala on now. Have you
Where?
ever heard Whiskey
Behind the
respond
scenes.
to anybody before? Have you ever seen Whiskey respond to anyone?
That's true.
I will Whiskey that. Leave him. There's no point to responding.
Okay, so let's do this now. What advice would you give married people or people in serious relationships where their partners come on social media and
First and foremost, when you put your food outside, you see dogs and cats and goats eat it. What that means is simple. The moment you put your matter outside, look, there are no limits to where it will go to. You will see a 5-year-old boy that will come online and tell you that you talk too much. 5-year-old child, because you put out your dirty lining outside. What's the point of that? It has never helped anybody. It has never brought anything good to anybody. The only thing that it does is it creates a very negative, image of both you and the partner eventually.
I have my own advice. So very funny advice. Please continue because the internet needs to eat also.
Yeah.
The bloggers everybody needs to make money. And we need to also have time to buy data and watch. But again, internet never forgets.
Absolutely, that's what they don't know.
True.
Yeah.
Rich Uncle is almost getting used to the fact that people drag him.
No, so but for me, I think
he's enjoying it
if
now.
your partner. No, I mean different actually because people will always have opinions, like you rightfully said. Regardless of what you say, somebody will say that's wrong, somebody will say that's right. But if your partner is dragging you online, maybe you chose wrong. Just maybe you chose wrong.
Let's
be honest.
I agree with you on this one.
No, because
I agree because this is just a different one. I'm agree with you on this one.
With my wife this week, we're having a conversation. She said something about blah 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 therapy, somebody in therapy, and I'm like, personally, I don't believe in therapy. The reason why I don't believe in this is this: conversation is a two-way street. I'm married to you.
I'm not
If you
married
and
to
I
the
cannot
therapist.
communicate, and we need a third party to communicate, then maybe we should not have been married.
Richard,
Maybe we
send me your
shouldn't have been
account
married.
details. Let me freak your account.
Because it's very simple. Like, if I want to talk to you guys,
Yes.
Yeah.
then I have to tell Dek to tell you what I want to
What's
say.
the point of that?
We
can
should
tell
not
us
have
the
been
point
together
of
in the
that.
first place.
What is the point of that?
It's just that simple.
If you,
But
if,
with that, let me tell you why I disagree with what Rich Uncle said before he made this statement.
correct one,
Which one?
Abi.
Before he made this
You
statement.
agree, Abi? Correct.
So which one?
Now, I feel certain people have avenues, ways, or platforms that they choose to express themselves.
Right.
Sometimes your partner might not be too comfortable with having certain conversations with you.
Maybe that should not be your partner.
And social media has provided a platform for people to vent, air their views. You don't know how many followers they may have, and they just want to express themselves.
to the followers and
So
not
that they can
you.
invite
But they
various
should be,
people into
but
their
so
conversations.
They should be cautious.
Okay, so let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I said this. Let me tell you why I said
Check
this.
this out. Before social media, right? What used to happen in relationships?
You solve the problem.
Wives would go to your in-laws,
Parents' house.
would go to their friends, would go to their religious houses, and talk about you and say all sorts. Now they have a platform where they don't need to talk to anybody. They can just bring it to the world.
Okay, so when you bring it to the world, to what end?
Now that's the part that they're
So
not
let
thinking.
me tell you
They're
why.
not thinking
Let me
in
tell
that
you why I
capacity.
understand that this thing doesn't make any sense. About maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, I was out of the country, and my daughter had to pay for something in school, and then she told her mom. My mom didn't take it serious. And when I got back, that day I was driving out to school. I think I said it here on the black table one. Now driving out to school, and she was very moody, and I'm like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And she was like, "Nothing." Maybe like 5 minutes into it, she's not like, "I was supposed to pay so and so amount for this in school," and I told mommy, and mommy did not do anything about it. I was angry because the amount was
Mega.
it was this mega money.
For a
And
rich
then
uncle.
when I dropped her off, I gave her the money. And then when I got back home, and I called the mom, like, she told you this, you didn't do. She was like, it's nothing now. I was very angry. And out of my anger, I called her mom. Like, why is your daughter like this? That was 5 years ago. It's 2024. If she calls me today, she'll ask me, so how is everything at home? She never used to ask me that before. Because she didn't know what was going on.
Because you had
at home.
taken your matter
But I
outside.
took it out. And I realized in that moment
Yeah,
that,
you made a mistake.
bro, this is a mistake that
Huge
should never happen
tactical
again.
error.
Tactical error. It should never happen again. Shouldn't.
And again, there's always a period of immaturity or inexperience because 5 years ago to now, everybody made
That's a long time. True. That's correct.
We have to call in a third party to.
Which is highly unnecessary.
But again, right now,
Especially for some of you guys that have atrocities from 5 years ago.
What if I...
Let's
be clear. What the guys that have atrocities?
So let me
I'm
say
hosting
this.
the show.
So let me
so you have the power to say anything. Right?
Olamide, John.
Give me the power to talk.
So let me say this, right? If you have that insatiable need to put your matter out
Out there.
online, then there is a fundamental problem. So what I think you need to do is you need to look inwards.
Yeah.
All right? Look at yourself first, after which you'll have a conversation with the person you're with.
Simple.
If there's a reason for you to want to put out your dirty lining outside,
To total strangers.
then something is definitely not
Bro,
right and you need to
So
fix it.
I'm going to still stand on my advice.
But please sit down while you're standing.
Let them. Okay, I'm going to sit on my advice.
So,
Please let them keep posting the dirty linens outside.
We need entertainment. We need the black
We
table.
need to entertain
And that's
ourselves.
exactly
Because if they
why-
don't put it out there, we won't talk about it.
No, that's exactly why you shouldn't post your linen outside because
Yeah,
they
post
will
them,
use you as content.
Yeah,
Only
please
it.
post.
It's
If
not
you have-
necessary.
you
Nollywood
have-
self go use and do video.
If you have anything to spill on the gentleman here on the black table besides myself, feel free to post it online. Let's drag them through. You know what I'm saying? So that we can have more comments. We're reading your comments.
There's a reason why there's a reason why people can't phone him.
Yeah, no, but we'll do that pretty soon.
Never.
We're going to take a quick break to refill our glasses. You can do the same at home.
And
And
while
when we
we're
come
re-
back, we're going to be taking a look at prenups.
While we're refilling our glasses, is there no reason why the company that is refilling our glasses is not sponsoring the show?
Here.
No, well, we have somebody that will come and shake a little bit for us here.
No,
so we'll
because-
take a quick break.
Shake what?
We'll be right back.
Shake what,
Keep
though?
your comments
Shake
coming.
what?
It's the
Just
black
clarify
table on
before you go.
TVC.
Shake what?
The black. Let me fill this glass. The black table. Thank you. All right. Now we're talking about prenups and issues surrounding it, especially here in Nigeria. Immediately I saw this topic, the first thing that came to my mind was, do prenups even actually exist
In Nigeria?
in Nigeria? Now I'm gonna go out on a limb and say something, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I feel I will be. I don't think any of the men on the black table here have prenups in their marriages.
I don't.
Am I right?
I don't.
Do
I
you?
don't know
The
about
first
you.
question is, how much do I have in my account that I want to have prenup? How much is in my account?
I feel
How
I
much
feel
is
rich
in my
uncle
account?
should have.
No.
But he doesn't.
So, but what he said is the reality.
Is it true now?
So first of all, let's ask ourselves:
Yeah.
if you married at the point where you were nothing, what prenup onto what?
Onto what?
What is
Your
the
two
value
white
of prenup?
chairs and 300,000.
You get chair?
You
Chair, me I don't get chair.
Wrong.
No,
It was first wrong.
no, maybe my two singlets.
no, but however though, if you're married, if you get married, if I was getting married now, that's a different conversation entirely.
I mean, I understand.
You will get married now because of what you've attained.
No,
and
no,
what
no,
you've
not
achieved
because
in
of
your
what I
life.
think, because of what the world is now. When I got married, it was a very simple world. It was a world of you like the girl,
So-
you guys like each other, you get married, and you don't think about breaking up.
and stuff,
But
yeah.
when you come to the realm where 50% of marriages end up in divorce, that's something you have to look about. I mean, you have to think about it.
So let me. I mean, I really appreciate what you just said, and I think I want to look at
I'm
it
the
from.
rational one. You people just don't know
please.
it yet. You don't know it yet.
I want to look at it from the perspective that there was this video I think during the week about a guy who literally had his wife use his house to take a loan. Yes, and apparently he didn't know anything about it, and she
How's
couldn't
that
pay
possible?
back the money.
No, but how's that possible?
And they came to, take
Repossess the
possession.
house.
Yes, take possession of the
Are you
house.
joking?
Yes, no jokes. It was out there. So I think that's where this is coming from. Now, what I think about prenups is the fact that, you see, there are layers to what is obtainable in a marriage. I don't know if you guys know about the story of the billionaire guy in the US, Gubadia and Portia.
Yep.
Now, these people had this kind of things, arrangements in place. The moment you begin to talk about prenups, that is the beginning of the end of the marriage.
That's what you think.
Yes, because
but technically it's right.
technically,
Technically right.
because when you
Right.
look at it, that conversation will never stop coming up in that marriage, because they'll keep talking about the fact that that's the reason why you got prenup.
insecurity
That's
sets
the
in.
insecurities will come in,
Insecurity
and then
sets
you
in,
begin to have issues. And guess what? That marriage didn't last. The Portia and Gobadia's marriage didn't last, because you see, once you begin on the wrong foot, all right. If you decide that you want to get something tangible in marriage, and you start with the wrong leg, once the foundation is terrible, forget it.
But wait.
Forget it.
But there's a huge advantage of having a prenup.
Yes, I agree.
For example, if
Which is
if
essentially-
Rich Uncle, like he said it now,
Yes.
if Rich Uncle was not married and was getting married today,
I'll definitely get
with
a
how
prenup.
far he has gone business-wise.
So that is the
Definitely get a
reason. So
prenup.
the reason
So
is
you say
because
you will definitely get
no.
one.
So the reason
Now,
is
I
so
will.
the reason is this, right? The reason is because of the kind of society that we have, and what is obtainable in today's society. The average Nigerian lady, with due respect to ladies, is not particularly looking for commitment. They just want somebody who can take care of them. That guy get money, he get potential, saying he ever get money.
Now you dey go drag
He
this
sure say he go fit take care of me. No, listen.
see.
He sure say, see, let me tell you something. When a girl of today says that this guy has potential, what is she talking about? Is she what's she talking
No, but
about?
you're right.
Is she talking
You're right.
about the fact that it's going to be good in bed, or she's talking about the fact that I'm not going to suffer in this marriage?
Even like you said, ask.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Five
So let's be
out of 10,
realistic.
5 out of
So
10
I
ladies
understand
right
where he says, when he says that prenup will not, it will not pass him by if he was supposed to marry right now. It makes sense, because the truth is, at the end of the day, right, if you're going to get married when you're okay, you have to protect yourself. When a lady comes, okay, take for instance, with due respect to one of our big artists in Nigeria, who is a twin, right now, he married a young girl. Now he tells that young girl that, okay, I don't make ammo, let's do prenup. Do you think that she'll be happy about it? She won't. I'm not sure she would even go into the marriage. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we have to, come on.
But sometimes, you see, these prenuptial agreements sometimes help secure both people.
That is the essence of prenup in the first place.
So,
all
but
right?
this is my question. I think the mindset here is that a lot of women, to an extent, with no offense, do not bring, let me not say women, different people, do not bring certain things to the table. But then when it's time to split the table, they get a huge share of it.
Okay.
So the prenup is to avoid situations. A lot of women bring stuff to the table. They're women that are well educated, financially they're sound, they're from great families. They're also bringing revenue and so many things as well. And when at the end of the day, when it now comes to a divorce, which we're like, God forbid, when it now comes to splitting that stuff, they now have to split those things as well.
Let me tell you, I know you're going to say something, but I just want to push this out there so that we will talk about this particular topic on another date. I don't think you guys have seen the interview that Tyrese had
On the breakfast show?
on the breakfast show. You need to, if you have not seen it, you need to go and see that interview.
I've seen the
You will understand the importance of prenup.
Yes.
You see, let me tell you something. When a man comes out on a public platform and is weeping, as if he's wailing.
But you know what Tyrese's issue was?
Do you understand what
You
I'm
know what
saying?
Tyrese's issue was? The
I
person
have
that
an
he
idea
ended
what-
up with,
Yes.
from the get-go, where she was coming from, she already told him verbally, I want nothing to do with your resources.
And now she's getting a lot of
And then here's the
resource.
funny thing. He became such a great person. He's one of my best R&B artists.
Absolutely.
Even in the movie scene
He's a
and
fantastic
so many
person.
other things as well. He grew. And of course, now there's another thing I didn't want to toss into Tyrese's situation.
That's why I said let's talk
her
about
mother.
it. No, let's
Her
talk about
mother-
it.
her
Let's talk
mother-
about it on another. It's
Yeah,
a
I don't
very
want-
massive.
yeah, it's a very
It's a massive conversation.
Her mother was influential in telling her, you deserve more.
It is that more that is causing problems right now, bro. Let's put it
let me
that
talk
way.
about
Let's
similar-
do like another show.
we
Let's
should,
talk about
yeah.
similar thing. I think one of those footballer, right, that he had everything in his mother's name.
Yeah,
Yes.
Hakimi.
Yes.
Hakimi from PSG.
So
yeah.
okay, so back to premium. Meaning prenup. I'm not a fan. I'm not in or against it. But again, the economy right now, the situation where you're right now. But if there's no prenup, how do you protect your spouse? I'm not talking about the guy protecting the girl protecting. Because I know some culture. I have a friend like 8 years ago that I saw her. She was married from one tribe. She was married and she was like YJ in the house in the sense that anything she touches, it's good. If I touch, it's even selling. Pure water. It's selling.
Yeah.
But so the husband also supports, right? Supports the wife doing business and everything, going to school. But the day the husband died, before she even left the morgue to the house, everything had been taken over by the husband's family. So
Yeah.
she was like back to zero. So again, years later, she got married and she told me, Akin, this is not going to be like the first time that everything is going to be in her name.
So
No prenup, but everything she's doing in her name.
Mauga,
That she's not going to that.
Mauga,
But
Mauga,
if there was a prenup,
I just want to add something to what you said.
Could have practically protected also her.
True.
That's you see. That's,
want to
no.
say something
Let's
after
let's
that.
leave prenup.
Yeah,
In that issue, let's leave prenup in that
Nigerian
issue.
society is
The
a
issue,
factor.
Nigerian society is totally different from this.
For prenup,
I won't lie to you. It is the responsibility of the husband to take care of
exactly.
that particular side. The husband was saddled with the responsibility of making sure that he needed to put something in place for his family. So whether there's prenup or not, a responsible man, which is essentially why we are talking about the fact that you need to support your wife. If he had supported the wife, if he has supported the wife,
Okay, so
there won't be a need for her to be depending on the guy.
Now, I want to come from another aspect that also tosses in part of last week's discussion. The expectation with relationships and marriage is for people to grow. It's for progress. But with prenups, it's everything you had before this relationship.
Right.
You get me?
It's mine.
Exactly. So, like somebody like a successful businessman like Rich Uncle, who has grown, in certain situations where your wife or your partner have grow as well in this marriage and attain certain heights, you get me? At the end of the day, the problem is prenups actually come down to the dissolution of the marriage.
True.
We don't want people to get divorced or separated, but it comes down to that. So who's going to take this?
Is it like you just said? You just
Who's going to
defined
take
it.
what? If your wife grows in the marriage, do you understand? Attains certain levels, maybe even higher than yours, and becomes financially so great and so sound, and to the point that, like Rich Uncle will say, she has outgrown you, and the marriage is going to be dissolved. What happens then? As a man, would your ego come into play and say, I'll leave her alone? Or would you now say, I helped her grow and I'm going to take part of this?
Yeah, because the prenup also goes both ways.
Yes.
You know,
both ways.
Because in a lot of situations, the women say, this is what the guy attained while we were together. This is the lifestyle I'm accustomed to. So he deserves to give me this amount.
So
Absolutely.
I've never been divorced. So, I wouldn't, but from my own point of view, at that point, because the woman has more than the guy, right? So it would be like cheating on the guy to just go empty-handed after he has also invested time, resources into the woman's growth. But again, depending on how it plays out in court anyway, because it could play out in any way, in any how. If he has a good lawyer, he's going to get something from the woman. But again, the woman who has a great lawyer, he's going to get nothing. He's not going to get nothing.
Again, I'm going to say this: the whole essence of prenup has already defeated the purpose of. It has see, let me tell you something.
You just went to become one. Everything is.
I mean, in Nigeria, or I'm not talking about any other place, or maybe if you are on a particular echelon, you know, on that class, you know. But the average Nigerian, I don't know. For me, I feel like, you know, the moment you start thinking of all those kind of things, the insecurities will set in. I'm telling you, because at the end of the day, you will start hearing stuff like, you know, the woman probably not put her mind to the success of the guy anymore. She will be looking for a way to improve on herself, get money for herself. You know, this, the complexities. Just, you know.
Either spouse still keeps hiding properties.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
But like, you know,
I mean, you heard of a story of a woman who was collecting rent for a house that she built with her money for years.
That must have been a situation whereby the husband provided a scenario where she didn't feel comfortable with letting him know that.
You guys realize that?
Wait, hold on. What did you say?
Let Rich Uncle say something.
Hold on.
No. Do you know what Gang said?
No, yes. But
Did you know what he said?
No, but you guys realize that everything you've said here buttresses my point from last week.
What was that supposed to mean?
That if you...
Why is it trying so hard to...
No, but if you were improving yourself while your wife was improving, this won't be a conversation.
No, that's totally not right.
You cannot...
No.
Hold on.
It can't be on the same
It's not on the same level.
It can't be on the same level.
No, Rich, he has a point.
Leave sentiment...
And I'll tell you why.
Leave sentiments out of all of this.
Right.
Leave sentiments out of all of this. If today, my wife says she wants to go our separate ways from me, in all honesty, a friend of mine, I was having a conversation with him, rich guy, and he told me that if my wife today says, I want to go, I will give her everything. This is a very rich guy. I'm like, why? But like, she was there when I had nothing. She deserved everything, and I know I would make it back. Now, let's go back to the very meaning of
With
prenup.
this dollar price.
Yes, let's go back to the very meaning of prenup. Like you rightfully said, because you can't argue against logic, sound logic. The very essence of prenup presupposes that in the future we will go our separate ways.
You are already thinking about
and
going
if
your
that
separate
is what
ways.
we start with, that's where we're going to finish. Do you understand?
You know, the end of the
But
marriage.
however,
That's simple.
as I am today, if I got married when I got married, there's no conversation of prenup because there was nothing to share.
That's correct.
Yeah.
But if I'm getting married today, bro, I'm keeping what I came with. You cannot take 20 years of my life now.
Exactly. And
You
the point that I have to agree with Rich Uncle is this. When you're in a relationship, especially one that's as cherished as marriage, you can't watch your partner improving themselves
And you don't
progressing,
improve yourself.
And you stay there.
Exactly.
Stagnant. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Especially as a man.
And now they drag me.
So I would agree with him on that point.
And now they drag
you
me.
understand? Who are you?
Yet you came here today to prove my point.
But the question is this.
No.
Let me get
It's a totally different
But let me get
conversation.
to But let me get to where I'm coming from.
Okay.
As
Get to your
established,
bus
it depends on how established you are as a man.
Okay, you are driving Toyota Corolla. You want
Let me give you an example.
What kind of prenup is that?
Let me give you an example.
Abi
A
Pepsi?
couple of names come to mind. a Dangote and a Denuga.
Exactly.
And
That's why I
are
said
so
they
established that
whatever.
however their
they don't
partners
need a
want to
prenup because-
improve themselves, I don't really need to do much.
Bro.
I've gotten to a certain peak where this is where
Just
I
keep
am.
supporting your-
You cannot catch up.
cannot catch up.
But you can keep trying.
Yeah.
So, but guess what? Like you rightfully said before you dived into the realm of sentiment,
All right.
if as your partner is growing, you are growing as well.
Yeah.
The
Logically,
prenup
that's-
and the
that's it.
disengagement
Yeah,
will be
logically, that's
smooth.
what will happen.
It will be smooth.
Bro, let me blow your mind, yeah? You know
All
one
right.
thing you must also understand is the fact that
And one thing you
so
must also understand is
Dangote,
I have to
for
cut
instance,
you off
like
again.
Dangote, right?
Because
like
I love this first
like
message.
Dangote,
Yeah.
Dangote's you are talking about now,
Yeah.
right? Dangote can get a prenup. That's okay.
Dangote should get it.
As long as
Hold on.
listen, as
Yeah.
long as
I have 2
that kind of
minutes.
person is going to buy
Deck-
a house for
deck-
the wife.
But that's
buy
usually-
flat,
that's
you have
usually-
already sorted their house.
Bro,
So,
guys,
what's
what
the
do
issue?
you
What's the
Do you want
issue?
half of that?
You don't need
I
it.
don't
You
know.
don't even need it.
Hey,
Black
wait,
men on the
gang,
table.
gang, gang. What do you
Black
mean by-
men on the table.
What do you mean by you have 2 minutes? That's
Black men on the
your
table.
normal timeline.
The presidency is online, and they said I should cut you guys off.
Okay.
And I'm doing that because of the first message we have on the show.
Yeah, sure.
says-
Let's
This comes
hear.
from Ashola. Ashola says, "You people want to do last week's show, ni? It's how gang was cutting them off for me." That's why I had to cut you guys off. 'Cause we need to take a quick break and wrap up the show. And Ade says, my son will beat me. God, please, if I am not strong enough and that happens, I will pay boys to beat him back, black, when he did not drink expensive pure water.
God bless you,
And
bro.
Karim says, this one, a rich uncle, is proud, Sha. And we're proud alongside
Yeah,
with him.
we are proud
That's
with
why
him.
he's on the show every week. And Funke says, prenuptial agreements should not be seen as a negative thing.
It is.
They are a tool that can foster open communication, trust, and financial stability within a relationship. By dispelling the myths surrounding prenups, couples can approach this topic with a clearer understanding of its benefits. That is so true. And Shola says, if I marry rich uncle now, I go do prenup. Oh. Where any bobo yen wala.
No, but so in all honesty, Amara,
Look at
come
it.
again.
Let me help you.
We are wrapping
Give
up.
us the tip. Once you say that, rich uncle, give us the tip.
So this is the
60
tip.
seconds.
This is the tip.
This is the tip.
Yeah.
What's that name again? Or his name?
Shola.
At Shola.
So actually, I'm guessing you're a woman. So in all honesty, you honestly think it's fair that I've worked 20 years of my life to get to this point. You would come, marry me. 2 years later, you say you're not doing it again and you get to live with half. Does this sound fair to you? It's not. It's not. It's just what it is.
That's not
in
fair.
In all honesty.
My poison in the streets.
In all honesty. So you people heard the person that say I'll poison you. It's not me. Oh. It's not me. Oh. Man, I know who I go drag.
This one is not sarcasm.
No, but in all honesty, if a man and a woman are in a relationship, and like I said on my Instagram stories last week, that the best form of love that you can give to your partner is to constantly improve yourself.
Damn.
Right? If you are improving yourself as he or she is improving themselves,
Right.
this issue of prenup will not be that difficult.
Yeah.
It's only difficult when it's lopsided.
That's exactly what I said.
It's only difficult when it's lopsided.
Yeah.
If you are good on your own, peace.
That's
Okay.
it. That's it.
All right then.
Wrap it up.
With that said, we have to wrap up this week's episode of the Black Table. You can keep your comments coming. We will respond to you on socials, and we may talk about you next week as well. My name is Tien Gang. Thanks to the gentlemen that joined the show. Olamide, hope to see you next week as
come.
well.
He can't come.
And
Maybe as a prenup.
No, when I say
Maybe as a prenup to come.
so when I say he
But his
cannot
prenup states
come, I
that he
mean
should not come.
when I say he can't come, I mean it in every sense of the word.
yes.
Wow.
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 So-
What sense can it not
Wow.
come?
That
In
was
every
the tip.
sense
what
of the
kind
word.
of
That was the tip.
In every sense of
That's
the
the
word.
original tip.
As we always say, the
Wow.
darker the night, the blacker the stars.
Already know.
Go Gunners this weekend. We'll see you guys
Season
next
one.
week on the Black Table.
They play my fans.
Yeah,
on
they
TVC
play.
Entertainment.
They play.
Good night and God bless you
Good
guys.
morning, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen.